Hello and welcome back to the MMA India show. This is your host Parvin Dabas, and we are live with MMA journo Chris Mohan, who is covering UFC 221 live for us. He flew down from Kuala Lumpur, and we would also like to welcome all of our new viewers from Sony Live. It's great. We feel great and privileged to be on the Sony Live platform, and it's a great moment for Indian MMA as well. The first MMA show to be on the mass media platform. So that's great for all of us and all the viewers, and we will keep bringing you lots of great MMA content. Now to UFC 221. Chris, did you have a good time watching the fights?
Yeah, very, very, very good time.
So which was your favorite fight, first of all? Let's get to that.
I think my favorite fight of the night, which as well won the fight of the night, was Jake Matthews versus Li Jingliang. Blood everywhere, fists being thrown, and it was just all back from start to finish.
That was an amazing fight, especially if you look at Jingliang's chin. I mean, he was hit with some really big shots, but he refused to go down. He just kept fighting back. I mean, I really thought he was going to go down, with a couple of shots. But he was like the Energizer Bunny. He just kept going and going and going. He refused to lie down. I mean, amazing fight, and great for Asian MMA that we have a star like Jingliang who can trade with the best.
Yeah, because I think, Li Jingliang's performance, I would say probably shocked a lot, shocked the whole crowd, and maybe even those watching worldwide, because he was actually already supposed to be out by round 2, but he kept on taking hits after hits after hits, and despite the defeat, I think he put up a very good fight and has a good future for those in China.
Yeah, and China is coming up with a lot of really good MMA fighters, both male and female. We saw that on the UFC Shanghai card as well. And, kudos to them for producing such great talent. Now, if we go, of course, we saw Israel Adesanya, who is becoming a big fan favorite as well, a very talented fighter. Now, after he won, he did like a peeing motion or something in the ring. Did you see that? And I think he spoke about it in the post-fight interview, which we did as well. We copied. Do you remember what he said about that?
I wasn't too sure what he did in the ring because I was in the media center.
Okay.
Israel Adesanya is my pick for the second. He actually won performance of the night, but if there was a fight, another close contender to fight of the night would have been his fight. His UFC debut, of course, he won impressively, moving on to 12-0. 12 finishes in 12 fights, no defeats. Something special, and truly one of UFC's upcoming stars as well from this region.
Yeah, well, 12-0 is an amazing record by any standard, and we will try to cut in between because we have footage of his post-fight interview, so we'll try to put it in here for the later to see what he said about that. Now, TysonPedro again was pretty amazing in the first fight of the main event. A really tough guy, and what was interesting, of course, was his personality and what he said in the post-fight octagon interview. Real character, and the people really seem to love him as well.
Yeah, sorry, you were breaking up again, Parvin.
Sorry, I said TysonPedro, seemed to be a really big fan favorite as well.
Yeah, because it was the start of the main card, and the crowd was already loud from the start. And when Pedro came on, he just got louder and louder. And in the post-match, post-fight interview, he actually said that he never actually expected a submission victory because he heard the sound of the clap. He thought there was 10 seconds left in the round, but it was coming from the audience, so he just tried to finish his opponent as fast as possible, and quite a submission as well. But after the fight, he was a bit disappointed that he didn't get what he wanted. Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, Pedro had a really good fight. Looking forward for his next fight already.
Yeah, so he won
another prop one from another prop one from Team Australia.
Yeah, and he won by Kimura, of course. But like you said, he wanted to win by KO. I'm guessing he wanted to knock his opponent out.
Yeah, because TysonPedro, he never thought, he personally didn't think he wanted a submission victory and all. But yeah, I think overall in the post-fight interview which I sent over to you, he actually said that he wanted to win by knockout too.
Okay, so I guess that's a case of getting a little too greedy, because he won in the first round. But still, it's great to see fighters always hungry. Now, another fighter from Australia, he was from Australia or was he from New Zealand? Tuivasa. Tuivasa, finished Asker in the first round itself. And, he just kept going at him. And Asker, after a while, seemed like he was out of the fight. You could tell by the look on Asker's face that he did not want to be in the ring, in the octagon with Tuivasa. He just wanted to get out there, and he was trying to, give it back now and then, but he was just taking a lot of damage, but not enough that the referee would stop, because he was still defending himself. He was still trying to give a counter now and then. So it was a little. And Tuivasa, of course, just finished him off then, putting it into the fight. But what I found most interesting was after he was going in through the audience, he chugged some beer out of like a shoe. Somebody from the audience, one of the fans, gave him like a shoe full of beer, and he like chugged it down.
Yeah.
So I think that's like a local tradition or something. But
it is.
But that was pretty interesting, and again, it showed that these Australian and New Zealand fighters are real characters, and the local audience really, really gets behind them. And what we have to remember, of course, it's not necessary, but this is entertainment as well. It's an event, and it's great that the fighters are giving it their all in the octagon, but also having fun outside of it.
Yeah. What I could actually tell about Tai Tuivasa was like he looked so hungry during the weigh-ins yesterday, and today he proved why he actually deserves a much better opponent as well after this. 7-0, Tai Tuivasa as well. With a similar record like Israel Adesanya, I think he's up to 7-0 now, and he's finished all of his fights via KO or TKO, and he's also defeated the likes of Rashad Cotto and James McSweeney. So another proud one from the region, and he was really disappointed that he didn't win the performance of the night bonus earlier. All he was asking the press was, "Where is my 50,000?"
Yeah. Okay, well, let's hope. A lot of these Australian, New Zealand fighters, I think, have been fighting within the local scene up till now. But now I think is the time to start putting them on international cards as well, because they do have the experience and talent now to be put on much bigger international cards.
I agree. So, although UFC 221 didn't have so much of big names, it had a lot of local talent, and the Australians must be proud of every fighter who was on the cards today, because they gave their best, and memorable event overall.
Now, coming to the co-main event, being a big Mark Hunt fan as well, and we spoke about how Mark Hunt has never really been able to get a string of wins together. He gets a win, and then he'll go 2-3 losses, but he's still such a big fan favorite, because when he does win, the way he wins is with those huge punches.
Sorry.
And the way, because when he does win, Mark Hunt, it's with these huge punches, and he just walks away, which is what he's known for. So he's such a big fan favorite, and he almost did that in the first round today against Curtis Blaydes. He almost knocked him out, but Curtis Blaydes, full marks to him. he caught on to Mark Hunt, and for the next 2.5 rounds, he never let go. He kept taking Mark Hunt down. He played his own game plan. He did not let Mark Hunt swing. He just kept feinting and taking him down, and he kept it on the ground, and he literally ground out a victory like that.
Hi, Parvin. Sorry. Connections.
I said, no worries. I said Curtis Blaydes literally took it to the ground and ground out a victory.
Yeah. As I think, as we all know, the mixed martial arts fans knows that Mark Hunt is very good on his feet, and Curtis Blaydes is a very, very good wrestler. So he took the game to Mark Hunt. He took him to the ground. But what Curtis Blaydes showed today at Perth Arena was very, very impressive. Although it was via unanimous decision, but he has a really, really strong chin as well, and he rided out a victory from the crowd favorite, like you mentioned. That made the win more memorable, I think, to him, because the loudest boost tonight was coming from the Mark Hunt versus Curtis Blaydes match, actually.
Yeah, so again, let's see what's next for Mark Hunt. He has said that he doesn't want to, he's not going to renew his contract with the UFC anymore. And, God knows if he's going to go to some other promotion at this point in time. I think it is time, because he's on the wrong side of 40, to maybe hang up his boots. And one would really want to see.
Yeah, I think, like what you mentioned, Mark Hunt is already about 43 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, I wouldn't say maybe it's time, but, maybe he could, try out something new in his career, because, at UFC, although he's such a UFC fan favorite, like we discussed yesterday, both of us are actually Team Mark Hunt as well, but he's never had his career going in at UFC,
Yeah, and we would like to see, of course, that's his decision, but we want to see like a big retirement fight and have him go out with a bang. Because he has had, of course, he's had some great wins, he's had losses, he's had a great career, but he is a fan favorite, and he has had, of course, some acrimony with the UFC as well, with the case going on, and I think it's time to put a lot of that behind him and go out with a bang, I think.
Yeah.
Now, coming to the main event, Yoel Romero versus Luke Rockhold. Of course, Yoel Romero didn't make weight, and then there was talk about Luke Rockhold wanting more money, and him holding out, and then the parties going back to the hotel because they couldn't come to a decision. Do you have any news of whether Luke Rockhold did end up getting more money for the fight? Was there any talk amongst the journalists about that?
Surprisingly, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not sure, so we won't talk about that too much. Coming down to the fight, the first round, the second round kind of went the same. In the very first round, Luke Rockhold cut his shin. He cut his shin with his kicks to Yoel Romero, which he kept checking. But his game plan was, of course, not to let Yoel Romero come in. He was always trying to keep him on the outside, with his jab, his rights, his kicks, his straight kicks, but Yoel Romero seemed to be taking it all, and he never seemed to be in an uncomfortable situation, though Luke Rockhold was landing a lot of times. But Yoel Romero seemed to be like a spring. He was taking the damage, and just getting ready to strike back. And he did have, I think, a couple of times he tried these big... Is that a fire engine? Is that a fire engine?
No.
Okay, it's the cops or it's an ambulance. Anyway, okay,
somewhere in the back.
Yeah. So, Yoel Romero kept absorbing that damage because Luke Rockhold was landing, quite a lot. But he kept absorbing it, even the second round, where he started becoming more active. But Luke Rockhold, maintained the distance very well. He kept on the outside of Yoel Romero, except, of course, in the third round when he sprung in and got that left, I think it was a left uppercut, which knocked Luke Rockhold out eventually.
Yeah.
So, were you ringside when the fight was going on?
Yeah, I was. Surprisingly enough, I was in the wings as well yesterday. So, Luke Rockhold, he actually looked. I'm just going to relay back to yesterday. Luke Rockhold actually looked much more better in shape. Of course, Yoel Romero didn't make weight, but after his second weigh-ins, he actually looked like he really looked great. I was kind of worried for him, but the fight today, a typical Romero performance, just springing out of nowhere, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Great victory for him to get back on the winning track. Impressive knockout as well.
Yeah.
And the whole my personal analysis of the match was that I think at the first round, Rockhold was, as we saw at the weigh-ins as well, he was kind of a bit pissed with Romero and all that, from the start. So he was just, Romero is still irritating Rockhold in round one, inviting him over while he just reads the game. And second round, Romero started off strongly, landing a few punches here and there, but Luke Rockhold's chin movement head movement was really, really good as well. But then, before you know it, Romero springs up with two really, really brutal left hooks and, 15-2. Most likely the title next for him, I guess.
Yeah, but I personally would have wanted to see Rockhold Whittaker because they haven't fought together. Romero's already fought Whittaker and lost. So it's part two, of course. But anyway, he won, even though he didn't make weight, so he doesn't get the interim belt. But what I really find interesting about Romero is, he does all of this. He does all of this feinting a lot, to show what he can do, though he doesn't do it all of the time. And it's like he always keeps the other guy off guard. Like he's playing around sometimes. Like sometimes he does these Karate Kid moves. And, he's going like this or this to show him, listen, I can do this as well. Or he'll just feint a kick. And it's so amusing. Because he's not actually doing it. He's just kind of showing, all this. He'll be like, and then all of a sudden, and it's kind of unsettling for the other guy. Because he's not really doing it, but all of a sudden he'll jump in and knock you out because you're never ready. Is he fainting? Is he playing around? He seems like he's not focused. He does this thing also where he'll look down and he'll punch up. So he always keeps you off balance, and I think that's what he managed to do with Luke Rockhold again as well today.
In short, I think Rockhold took a bit of dig on Romero because he was doing a salsa during one of the media sessions, I think.
Yeah.
So I guess Romero showed Rockhold that perhaps you need some salsa moves in the octagon as well.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just reading some questions which have come. Sorry, can you repeat that?
No, sorry. I just said that Rockhold took a dig at Romero yesterday while he was doing a salsa at one of the UFC events. So I think Romero showed that sometimes you might need some salsa in the octagon. He
said that he should have been doing salsa in the sauna as well, basically to lose more weight. And I think this is always, an issue when one fighter makes weight and the other doesn't. Because one fighter has gone the extra distance and dehydrated himself much more than the other guy, And okay, you can say, he might make less money and this and that, but does it affect the outcome? Now, can we say that Romero was actually in a better shape, and because of that now, he is going to fight for the title instead of Rockhold. So he's in a position maybe to make more money, because he's doing another fight. Whereas Rockhold kind of has to see who he gets to fight now. So it's a little iffy, this whole thing, and I don't know. There's no real way of really finding a way to figure it out, and what do you do, because the weigh-ins happen a day before. It's not like you can cancel the fight. It's the main event. You have to go through with it. But of course, he's not the interim. Now, whether there was an interim title on the line or not, it doesn't seem to matter now because he's still going to fight for the title now.
Yeah, back to the start of the whole thing. Romero as well accepted the fight quite late. So yeah, according to him, maybe that was one of the factors why he didn't make weight. But like you mentioned earlier, despite not winning the title today because he was ineligible to do so, that this win actually puts him in the favorite spot right now. So it was a bit sad that Romero and Rockhold couldn't join us for the post-fight interview. So I guess we just have to wait for an announcement by maybe Dana White or one of his fighters to know what's next for the middleweight, the interim middleweight title.
Yeah, and again, I think this was a really amazing card. There were some amazing fights on it, both on the prelims and on the main card itself. Of course, we had just interviewed Jeremy Kennedy some days back, and he lost to Alexander Volkanovski. You can see that interview on Sony Live as well. And we have a lot of great post-fight interviews, some amazing footage. Of course, there's a lot of, it seems you're like in a big motorcycle zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The data inside is bad.
Yeah. So this is actually the summer in Australia.
Yeah.
So it's summertime, so I guess people are out on their bikes.
Yeah. Everyone,
your video just went, Chris. Yeah, there you're back. So so it's great. The weather must be great, and everybody's enjoying themselves. Great, awesome.
I think because everyone has been partying from morning in the Perth arena.
Yeah.
It's been a great event, and I think they're just still continuing their party,
Okay, awesome. So, like we were saying, we have some great post-fight interviews, which we will be having on Sony Live. You can see them there on Sony Live. We interviewed Israel Azidania, Alexander Volkanovski, Curtis Blaydes at the post-fight press conference, Tuivasa at the post-fight press conference, and also there was one more. Who else was there? TysonPedro. And TysonPedro as well. You can check out all of those interviews on the MMA India show page on Sony Live. And we had a great time covering UFC 221. And thank you, Chris. Any last words before we say goodbye?
Thank you, MMA India. I think that's about it. It's been a really, really great event.
Great. So glad you could cover it live for us, and we hope there's another event soon in your region, which you can cover and get to see as well. So thank you so much. It was great having you cover UFC 221. All the best, and we will be in touch soon.
All right. Cheers, Parvin.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for following the MMA India show again on Facebook, YouTube, Sony Live. Thank you so much, Sony Live. It's great to have all of the new followers on Sony Live. Thank you, and take care. Till next time.